Good evening. We begin tonight with a special investigation into mould growing in our underground stations. We found one section of the wall at Shepherd's Bush station covered in fungal growth. We took a close look at it and sought scientific advice on the harm it might cause. What we found doesn't pose an immediate danger to commuters, but it's unsightly, unpleasant, and Transport for London is taking action to get it cleaned up. Rags Martel has this exclusive report.
We're told it can be dangerous.
Tonight, the home's so mouldy, a doctor recommends getting out.
But if mould and damp is sometimes seen as a hazard...
Tonight, mould so bad it's making us sick.
Why can you see it so openly on some tube stations?
What's your reaction when you see this mould here?
It looks dangerous. Looks like it could go in the air and you can breathe in. It should be concealed or removed, right?
It's disgusting.
Why do you say it's disgusting?
Because it looks it. I won't put my hand on it, let's put it that way.
But what do you think about sort of open mould?
Well, it's dangerous. It's highly unhygienic, and it's a threat to our health.
To take a closer look at the damp and mould on the underground, we got in touch with Dr. Daniel Henk, a mycologist and leading expert in fungi and growth organisms.
There's clearly wetness issues here.
Together, we went on a tube tour.
A lot of the fungi that you get is actually from people.
Looking for damp and mould. And from the central line, we get off at Shepherd's Bush, where commuters walk past what appears to be a wall of mouldy fungal growths.
Clearly there's something going on there. There are fungi present. It's a question of which fungi are present.
Armed with testing equipment, Dr. Henk gets to work. First, an air sampler is set up.
Taking an air sample here is just about as bad as it could possibly get. If you're walking through here like everybody is and you're brushing right up against this, that's the maximum you're ever going to get exposed to.
He also takes samples directly off the wall.
Just rub them across the surface is just to see what the most abundant thing we get there.
After he finished collecting his samples, we discussed Dr. Henk's initial findings.
What was your reaction going down on the tube and seeing that mould?
I was a little surprised by, in the stations we were going, how frequent there were these sort of like damp patches that had damage and maybe some fungal presence. Maybe there's more than I expected. I was taken a little bit aback, I say, by just how much I saw of that damage. I think there is a maintenance issue there, right? So there's damage, and where there's damage, there are going to be fungi, and those fungi can become an issue, but if you were there for enough time, that could become problematic.
Back in his lab at the University of Bath, the collected samples grew into diverse fungi, something that reassured Dr. Henk about their safety. Diversity means, he wrote to us, it's not one bad invading fungus.
We made a freedom of information request to Transport for London about its mould. They told us they don't have any significant growths in public-facing areas.
And they added that they don't have a specific budget for dealing with mould.
Transport for London say they're not really concerned with the mould. Is that the right approach?
I would be very surprised if they weren't concerned with mould, right? It should be part of what they always are considering.
If you could tell Transport for London something, what advice would you give them?
I would say, consider the fungi. Take the fungal component of what they do seriously. I wouldn't say that it's an issue that needs to be raised to like red alert for them, but having that as the list of the many things that they have to keep track of in terms of maintenance seems like a good idea to me.
Since revealing our findings to Transport for London, a spokesperson told us they are now aware of mould growths at Shepherd's Bush. We're treating the area with detergent and anti-mould cleaning products, they told us. We are confident that the action we are taking will ensure there are no health risks to customers using the station.
Do you think TfL should fix this, though?
Do I think they should? Well, I want all my stations to be pristine, but should it be part of the regular maintenance? Almost certainly.
With the hope this will be cleared up, these passengers can expect a slightly safer and cleaner commute.
Right, Ragsy, just back from Shepherd's Bush. Has it been cleaned up?
Short answer, no.
OK.
Transport for London told us at the start of the week that they are treating the area, but take a look at this. 4 p.m. this afternoon, it looks exactly the same as when we started investigating this a month ago. But it's really important to reassure commuters, mould is a big problem in big quantities and long exposure, so a real issue if you live and sleep next to it. So walking past it on the tube is of almost no danger at all. And as Dr. Henk found in his lab, it's not a bad invading fungus in his words, but untreated, it could get worse. And even he was taken a little back about how much there was on the tube. But his message to Transport for London, take fungal growth seriously. So there's still a lot more work to be done from their part.
All right, Rags, many thanks.